All right, let's talk about something that's quietly shaking up the entire tech world. AI is completely breaking the old software pricing model. You see, for years, decades really, how we buy and sell software has followed a pretty predictable rulebook. Well, that rulebook just got tossed out the window. There's a massive AI-powered shift happening right now, and if you want to win, you have to understand it. So let's break down what's happening and, more importantly, why it matters to you.
Have you ever wondered this? It's the kind of question that keeps founders and product managers staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. You see two companies. Their products are pretty similar, but one of them is just absolutely crushing it with revenue. What's the secret? Well, more often than not, it's not just a better product. It's a smarter pricing model. Get it right, and you unlock explosive growth. Get it wrong, and you are literally leaving a fortune on the table. And look, this isn't some fuzzy, far-off prediction. Just look at the data right here. 3 out of every 4 companies are already shifting to usage or value-based models. That's huge. And what's the engine driving all this? You guessed it, AI. It's fueling a 60% surge in this kind of dynamic pricing. So yeah, this isn't just a trend, it's a full-on tidal wave. Okay, so to really get where we're going, we first have to understand where we've been, right? So let's take a quick tour of the old guard, the 5 classic pricing models that has dominated the software world for years. First up, the OG, the one we all know, the subscription model. Think Netflix, Spotify, you name it. For the company, it's fantastic. That predictable revenue is a dream. But for the customer, if your usage is all over the map from month to month, that flat fee can start to feel, well, kind of unfair. It's like paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet when you really only wanted a small snack. Then you've got the tiered model. Oh yeah, we've all seen this, the classic free, pro, and enterprise plans. It's a really smart way to guide people up a ladder of value. But there's a sneaky little trap here. You know when they put that one critical feature you need in the most expensive plan? It creates this friction where you feel forced into a huge upgrade you don't actually need. So frustrating. Next up is the cost-plus model. This one is as simple as it gets. You figure out your costs, add a little profit margin on top, and bam, that's the price. It's totally straightforward, but it has one massive glaring flaw. It completely ignores the value the customer is getting. And because of that, you're almost certainly undervaluing your own product. Okay, now we're stepping into the modern era with the usage-based model. Think about your cloud provider or your electric bill. You pay for exactly what you use. To customers, this feels incredibly fair, and it scales perfectly as their company grows. The only tricky part is for the business. Revenue can be a bit of a roller coaster from month to month. And finally, we have the holy grail, value-based pricing. Now, this is a whole different ballgame. Here, the price has nothing to do with your features or your costs. It's tied directly to the return on investment the customer gets. The upside, your profit margins can be absolutely astronomical. The catch, you have to understand your customer's business almost better than they do. It's incredibly powerful, but man, it is hard work. So here they are, all laid out side by side. What you notice immediately is that there's no silver bullet, right? Every single model has a trade-off. You're always balancing predictability against flexibility or simplicity against your profit margin. There's no single best model. The real strategy is finding the perfect fit for your product and your customer. I absolutely love this analogy because it just makes everything click. You wouldn't use a giant semi-truck for a quick trip into the city, right? And you wouldn't try to haul a bunch of heavy equipment in a tiny compact car. Your pricing model has to be the right vehicle for the job your customer is trying to get done. And this right here perfectly illustrates the fundamental shift we're talking about. The old models, they were built for the seller, focused on getting that predictable revenue. But the new models, usage and value-based, they flip the script. They are built for the buyer. They're flexible, they scale, and they center everything on the value the customer actually receives. So the big question is, why is this revolution happening right now? What changed that suddenly made these new models not just possible, but dominant? Well, the answer is basically 3 powerful forces that all converged at the exact perfect time. It really is a perfect storm. First, you've got technology. AI and automation now give us the superpower to track usage with incredible precision. Second, customers are just smarter and more demanding than ever. They want fairness and transparency. They want to pay for what they actually use. And finally, the entire mindset has shifted. It's no longer about what a product costs to make. It's all about the value it delivers.
Okay, theory is great, but how do you actually do this? Let's get practical. Here's a simple 4-step playbook you can use to start finding the right pricing model for your own business. So here's the process. First, who are you selling to? Small businesses are totally different from massive enterprises. Second, define your value metric. What's the thing your customer is actually paying for? Is it users, data, or some specific outcome? Third, how do you sell? A simple self-serve product needs simple pricing. A big sales-led deal can be way more customized. And finally, and this one is absolutely crucial, you have to test and iterate. Pricing is not a set it and forget it task. Your first guess is almost guaranteed to be wrong, and that's okay. But knowing what to do is only half the battle. You've got to know the traps to avoid. Don't build a maze of confusing tiers, it just scares people away. Don't ignore what your customers actually find valuable. Don't be that company that's constantly pushing for upsells. And please, don't treat your price like it's carved in stone. Your pricing has to evolve right alongside your product. So where is this all going? What's next? Well, the future looks even more dynamic, more intelligent, and way more tailored to each individual customer. Let's take a peek ahead. And if you're wondering if all this effort is really worth it, just look at this number. McKinsey found that getting your data-driven pricing right can boost revenue by a staggering 20 to 30%. Let that sink in. This isn't some tiny optimization. It's a fundamental growth lever for your entire business. The future isn't about picking just one of these models. It's about creating smart, hybrid models. Imagine having a predictable base subscription plan, but with a flexible usage component on top that scales up or down as your customers' needs change. It's truly the best of both worlds, predictability for the business and total fairness for the customer. This quote really just nails the ultimate takeaway here. Your pricing isn't some static number on a web page. You have to think of it as a strategic tool, a living, breathing part of your product that's constantly adapting to better serve your customers and drive your growth. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard, honest look at your company's pricing or even just the software you pay for every day. Is it built for the future or is it a relic of the past? Because in the age of AI, the future of software is going to belong to the people who get this right. Thanks for joining me.